Hey guys!
Hey.
Welcome back to The Mom's View. Katilette and Mia couldn't be here today, but they send you their love. But we have a very special guest. You guys out there might not know this, but we have a group of amazing people behind the cameras that help make the show happen every week, and they work at our company called Maker Studios. And Mickey, our guest today, also works at Maker Studios. He's one of our best producers, and he's also a new dad. So welcome.
Aw, Daddy.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So,
This is nerve-wracking.
yeah.
I know.
We're all like... 13-year-old me right now is just like freaking out. On a couch with all these girls, oh my god. This is crazy.
Usually on the other side.
I know. It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
I love it though.
So, how did you find out you were going to be a father?
Daddy, I actually found out on the way to Maker Studios. I was driving in and my wife called me and said, "We're pregnant." And I drove home and freaked out and cried and did all that awesome stuff.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Were you
great.
expecting it?
Yes and no. Like, Tara, my wife, is always like, she's wanted to be a mom forever. Like,
Right.
I met her and she was like, "So I'm gonna be a mom one day." I was like, "Oh, really?" We're like,
And that didn't freak you out?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I kind of knew it was coming in that way, but you never know it's coming, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's awesome. It's been great.
So, how old is your baby?
He is 15 weeks now.
Oh, tiny.
Yeah.
My heart.
Yeah.
He's a little
Best age.
bitty guy. That's what I like.
I
That's what
think
it
it
feels
is.
like.
Yeah.
But then we were talking about this a little bit. It's like every stage seems to be the best stage. Like every single day, I'm like, "Oh my god, I never want this to end." And then it's like he gets older. I'm like, "I never want this to end."
Well, two
Yeah.
is really tough, I
Yeah.
think.
That's what I
3
hear.
is harder.
Oh my
Three
god.
is
No,
harder.
don't tell me that.
I think.
My child's an angel, so I don't know.
Always,
He's
yeah.
always great.
You're lucky.
I'm just not looking forward to when they turn 16.
Yeah.
Oh my
goodness.
god.
Yeah, that's like the terror zone, right?
Yeah,
That's
I think that's what I'm like. I want this phase to end.
Yeah.
Get over it.
So,
Stress.
what is it? So, is he up every night? Like, what has this process been like over
Yeah.
the last couple of months?
It's been crazy, but not nearly as much for me. Tara she's a stay-at-home mom, so that's been awesome to say
Yeah.
the least, because she
Yeah.
really takes care of everything, and I kind of get to come home and like play with him, have my time with him, and then in the middle of the night, like 9 times out of 10, she'll just be like, "I got it, don't worry."
Oh, that's sweet.
Good mommy.
Yeah, she is. She's the best. She
Is
takes
he
care
up
of
all
everything.
night? Is it one of those things, or he's
He's
sleeping?
not
pretty
that
good?
bad actually. He sleeps a lot. He sleeps. He takes after his parents, and he sleep. He sleeps.
I believe that you can train your children to sleep.
Oh yeah.
I love to sleep in, and my kids sleep in.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
Interesting.
How'd you make that happen?
I think because I was just like, it's still nighttime, so go back to bed. If it is before 8 o'clock, it is nighttime.
Oh my
Not
gosh.
anymore because of school, but
But did your kids sleep through the night, like when they were babies? Like,
No.
No.
my kids still get up at night.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
And they'll come in and just say, "Hi."
Like
or-
cry about something. Like last night, Gage was crying, and I went in there, and his leg hurt. So I rubbed his leg and gave him medicine. My kids can always think of a reason to get up.
Did they ever come? Do they want to sleep in your bed, and do you let them?
Well, I was really bad with Braylee. She started sleeping in our bed when she was just tiny. So, yeah. What about you? Have you?
I mean, he gets up normally like for at least an hour, but it's hard. Like, you know, they tell you that they're supposed to sleep on their own, but it's like if you hear them crying, you don't want to like
Not
not
comfort
have.
them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's,
It's just an instinct.
it's hard to believe in that. It's hard for me. It's like if I hear him crying, I just want to be there for him. I want him to like be right next to me.
But then they have to self-soothe too
Yeah,
sometimes.
exactly. It's
It's
like this
hard.
weird
it's
balance,
really hard.
right?
Yeah.
So how do you decide? Is there a certain point where you just let them cry in the crib? Like she's like,
Yeah.
So what? So how do you make
I think
that
after you've
decision?
done everything, if you've fed them, you've changed their diaper, you've held them with, given them some love, and then you put them down and they're still upset, then that's when they just kind of need to like, really, Cooper never like had those moments, so I don't feel like there was ever a time where I couldn't, he was just crying and I was like, I don't know what to do.
Right.
There was only one time it was on an airplane, but I think it was because the plane was
Yeah, the pressure.
depressurizing. It was the worst thing ever. I was doing everything. I felt bad for the guy next to me. I like whipped out my boob. I didn't like, here, just feed, you'll be fine. Like, you're just a new mom and they're crying. You feel like everyone's on the plane being like, oh, this lady and her baby. And the poor guy next to me was like, oh my gosh. I didn't know what to do. So I was just like trying everything. And I just remember like, sorry, sir, and like whipped it out. He was probably like, yeah, totally. I was doing everything. That was the only time I remember Cooper crying. Then I was like, I don't know what to do, but I think it's because his ears like popped and freaked him out.
Were you ever scared or nervous? Knowing
That's
that
the
you're
thing.
about to have a baby, or was it all just?
I
joy.
mean, yeah, it's like you run through the gamut of emotions right before you have the baby. Obviously, it's like excited and then nervous and like, what if I don't know how to do it? And then everybody tells you like, no, you'll be fine. Like, trust me, you can't mess it up. Just try your hardest and everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
The part for me that was the scariest was right after he was born. Like I don't know. It's like I went from being a very like carefree guy, like I didn't care, and it's like I was just very fun loving to all of a sudden thinking like the worst possible things could happen to him. You know, it's like I'd wake up like 5 times throughout the night and be like, is he breathing? Like, and I'd go, he looks way too still, you know.
Yeah.
I never thought I was gonna be that guy. Tara was always that for like within our relationship, and all of a sudden like the tables turned, and she was like, "No, he's fine," and I'm like, "No, he's not. You gotta get like who's staying up, who's on watch, you know."
That's
really
sweet.
I love that
That's really
so
awesome.
much. You're like,
Yeah.
aw, cute.
Do you feel like it's changed your outlook on life and the way you approach it and what you do day to day?
Yeah, I mean, completely.
Yeah.
I mean, how could it not? You know, it's. I think it's all just priorities. It was like what it kind of switches is that before it's like I don't know. It's like people would ask, you know. It's like my social life is the biggest thing that has changed, and going into it, it's like you think. Oh my God, this is gonna be horrible. Like I'm not gonna be able to do anything, but like you know, it's kind of good and evil. But with people coming up, it's like they ask you like, okay, are you gonna be going to this party Saturday night? And you're like, no, I'm probably gonna be hanging out with the baby. And like, it's like you can see in their face, they're like, oh man, that sucks. But you're like, no, it's not. Like it's so awesome. Yeah, it's like you don't. I don't think you understand it until you're in it. But it's like I look forward to literally every moment that I have to spend with him. You know what I mean?
It's so cute.
Yeah.
That's sweet. Oh, that's so sweet. No, that's.
It's true,
really
right? I mean, it's like you all of a
yeah.
sudden, it's like every bit of that time, you're just like, this is. Every time I see him, he's older. You know?
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Oh yeah.
Right, because it's all happening so fast, and everything's new, especially with the first one. Everything they do is
Yeah.
some new, exciting.
Yeah.
What do they do? Is there anything? What's the first milestone that happens?
Anything
Like,
they breathe
Yeah.
and you're like,
Anything
oh, it's so
smile.
awesome.
Yeah.
They're breathing. Awesome.
Yeah.
Like they make a little noise and you're like, oh, I better write that down.
Yeah.
The
Or
second
film it.
day.
I need to take 10 pictures of him.
I filled up my phone worth of pictures in like 2 weeks. Because you do want to capture everything.
Everything.
You're like, everything they do, you're like, that's it. I can't believe he did that.
He's the
So
smartest
smart.
baby ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A smile is something that
They do.
doesn't always happen for a while. Isn't that like a milestone, or just some babies? I feel like no.
Cooper smiled
Sometimes-
pretty early.
yeah.
I did too, though, as a baby. But they say that their dreams are gas.
It's
gassy
gas, yeah.
smiles or whatever.
Oh, that's
But
not
to a
Just
mom,
happens.
it's
They
like
don't
a real
know.
smile.
Yes. Yes.
Or to a dad.
Yeah.
Smile.
He just had his first outward laugh, which I thought
Oh
was
my
awesome.
gosh.
Because before you'd like make a face and you just go. And you're like, is it gas? Is it?
Is he looking at me like I'm an idiot
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
Dad?
But he did the like. Oh, that's awesome! You did it, buddy.
Well, we have a comment question that I think will actually be really good for you because I know your baby's name is very interesting. This is about baby names. It's from Grace K08. It says, "Dear moms, I have a few questions to ask about baby names. How did you pick the names of your children? Did you already have names picked out for during your pregnancy or after your child was born? And were they chosen based on their meanings?" Because I mean, that's what I always ask. I'm like, what are you gonna name it? That's all I know to ask.
Yeah.
That's all I know. I don't know anything about babies. But you have an interesting name.
I do. My son's name is Logan Danger. Danger is his middle name.
But you were potentially going to name him Danger as his first
I
name.
wanted Danger. Yeah, I went back and forth between Dashiell Danger and like all these different things. But I don't know. My name's Mickey, and it's given me this weird like sense of uniqueness. You know, it's like I always feel like, oh man, like there's not many Mickeys in the world.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to kind of give him that in some way.
And where did Danger, was that just, you just liked it?
Yeah.
Was your wife, was she like, honey?
Oh yeah, no. It was a fight
Come on.
for a very long time.
Yeah.
At the end, she's like, okay, whatever, let's just go.
Yeah.
And how'd you pick Logan?
Logan, I don't know. Logan was just always a name that we liked. We went back and forth. We had like Charlie was out there for a while.
That's cute.
Really liked Charlie. Logan, Dylan I think was in the mix. Maybe like Duncan too. I wanna
That's
say.
cute.
Duncan.
Duncan's cute.
So how did you guys pick your baby names?
With me, Olivia has my name as her middle name. So I picked Olivia because it's so classic and it's really beautiful. And then I gave her my name because I want to pass it on to her. So.
But did you
Sounds
have it
pretty.
before she was born, or was it?
Oh, I had it
something
before.
You knew.
Yeah. on her baby shower favors, we put like Olivia's baby shower. I thought of it a long time ago, and I just kind of kept with it. But
that's fun. Sometimes you
yeah.
feel like you can like connect with your baby. You start calling your baby the name.
Yeah.
Some people have to like look at it.
You know.
Some people pick the names, but then I know that when they see the baby, they're like, no, that's not the right name. I have to change it. But
I never thought of that.
Yeah. I mean, this is what I hear.
Yeah.
How do you know that?
How
about you guys? Did you already have your names picked
Well,
out?
I'm that way. I had to see the baby before I could pick a name. And with with both of our kids, Casey and I could not agree on a name. We just could not. Like, I would like one, and he'd be like, no. And then he wanted to name our kids hunty names. Like he was trying to think of what's elk backwards? What's all of these names backwards? What's reeb, bear backwards? I was like, we are not doing any of those. So
I might take that.
That would be different. That's original. So with Brayley, he called me one day, and he had a best friend growing up named Braylon. And he was like putting all of our names together and thinking of names, and he was like, what about Brayley? I was like, I love that. So, but like I said, I had a list of names when we went to the hospital, and then when we saw her, we were like, yeah, she's Brayley. And then for a middle name, we did Case, because we thought it was kind of Kaylee like Casey and Casey together. We spelled it with a K. And then with Gage, we had a bunch of different names. And
well, that's kind of hunting. That's like a gauge of a oh, right.
But
compromise. Yeah. Is that where that came from?
No.
Oh, okay.
Good point, but
you
no.
Could say that
now.
I mean, I kind of won the fight with that.
Right.
Hunting Gage. Right. I watched Pet Cemetery. I don't know if any of you guys have seen it. When I was in 4th grade. And the little boy on that show's name was Gage, and I loved it. And I was in 4th grade, and it's just a name that always stuck with me. And Brayley loved it. So Brayley called him Gage the whole time I was pregnant. But like I said at the end, when we were going to the hospital, we didn't know what we were going to name him.
Yeah, you
and
had to
we
look at
saw him, and he was a little Gage, and
It's a hard thing. Naming's a really hard thing.
It is hard. It's like, are they going to hate their name? I've even asked Brayley before, like, do you like your name?
Completely.
Do they like him? Do they?
Yeah. Sure, they don't care
I'm
right
very
now.
weird for that part of the conversation. It's like, so danger. What's to do with that, Dad?
I always envision like a substitute teacher reading their names in class, and is it anything they could like be made fun of for, or be nicknamed with, and I'm like, because I've been that teacher to pronounce somebody's name wrong, and be like, sorry, your name's not Caitlin, it's Catlin. Oh, calling a boy or girl.
That's the sole reason we didn't go with Lucas, because Lucas Mucus.
Lucas.
I'm sorry to any Lucases out there.
Lucas Mucus.
How about you with Cooper? Did you know?
Well, my ex-husband's last name started with a C, and so our initials were CC, and so we wanted a C name, but we didn't know. And he was a baseball player. He wanted something that sounded like good at the plate, like, because he's going to be this big baseball player before he's even born, So we're coming up with like all these C names, and I loved Cooper from the beginning. I saw it on a Cooper tires, and I'm like, I love Cooper. I don't know where he came up with it, but he didn't like it. And then he's like, it reminds me of this guy I played baseball with, and he was really short and had a bad temper. And he's like, I just don't like that name. And then I just was like, I don't care. We're naming him Cooper. And then when we had him, it was just like, he's Cooper. So
That's the hard part about names, though, is that it reminds you of somebody that has that name.
Right.
Yeah.
And they say that too, that if you really identify a certain name with a certain person, you will subconsciously treat your child like that person. That you should
really?
I mean,
I don't care what they say. I'm having a daughter next, and her name will be Capri, even if that's my dog's name, because I love that name.
My dog's name is Maggie, and I'm like, I want to name my child Maggie. I was like, is there a problem with that?
I want a Cooper and a Capri. And so
that's so funny.
That's so funny.
I'll have a dog and a daughter named Capri whenever that day may come.
But you call your baby Danger. When I was saying, you didn't call him?
I call him Danger.
I love it.
A little bit more fun. We call him Paco too. I don't know why.
Logan Danger Paco.
My wife's Hispanic, so I don't know. He looks like a Paco.
Is it funny that he doesn't look like you?
It is. It's very weird. I mean, like growing up, it's like when you think of having your son one day, it's like you imagine a mini you, and I'm like blonde hair, blue eyed, like Aryan race child, and like with him coming out, it's like he looks literally nothing like me. He has like my ears. That's it.
How did you meet your wife?
I met her actually at a party. I went to USC, and I was on the hockey team at USC.
Oh, wow.
And I went to a hockey party and met her there on Halloween, and while she was dressed as the devil.
You fell in love with the devil.
I was an 80s rock star in spandex with a giant wig, and she was the devil. rest is history.
Aw, that's
So you've been together a really long time.
We have. We've been together for coming up on 7 years now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it.
And you guys you recently got married. So you were pregnant before you were married.
We were.
Right?
We were, which is it was interesting because again, it's like you grow up and you think, okay, well, I'll get married and then I'll have a child, and this isn't just how it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's just
It
life.
is.
You gotta roll with it.
But it doesn't matter really.
Yeah.
Like in the end of it, it really doesn't.
Yeah.
I'd actually proposed to her I proposed to her not this past August, the August before that, and so we were going to get married in November, and then instead had a child in November.
Proposal baby.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was like, "Will you have my baby?" So yeah, it was
That's awesome.
Yeah,
So what did you do for the wedding? What did?
we did. I mean,
Because she was about to have the baby.
she had just had
She
the baby.
just had
so
the baby,
yeah, so
okay.
we ended up getting married in December 29th, which was it's kind of hard to explain. Her sister got married on her golden birthday. She was turning 26 on the 26th.
Aww.
So this is Tara was turning 26 on 26, and so her sister got married on that day.
Oh.
So then her sister was having her golden birthday, turning 29 on the 29th, and we were like, let's do that.
Yeah.
So
Oh, cute.
we did kind of just a household thing. Her brother was the pastor, and it was cool.
That's
It was very,
fun.
very
How did you
fun.
propose?
I am the cheesiest, most romantic in the world, and she is the exact opposite of that. She's like practical, like, want to get married? Okay, let's do it. You know? I took her out to Catalina, out to the island of Catalina, and proposed to her up there. But she saw it coming, I think, from like a mile away when I was trying to do this whole like special thing.
Yeah.
It's still special.
Yeah.
Sweet.
But it was great.
So do you have any advice for new daddies out there?
Everybody will tell you this until they are blue in the face, until you cannot hear it anymore, but you cannot mess up. Just do your best, and you just be there. Be there for them, be there for whatever they need, and they will stop crying eventually.
You're awesome.
You guys are awesome. So much fun.
Yeah, this was.
We'll have to have your wife on here sometime.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
would
way
she
too
ever do
camera
that?
shy.
She's like, no.
Yeah, I see her at home right now, like, no.
Thank you so much.
No,
Yeah,
thank you guys. This was really
yeah.
fun.
Thank you for being here. And thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to go to our Facebook page because we have a great giveaway. It's from Blick. It's art supplies, and we have all these craft supplies that we're going to put together in a little basket so people can do at-home crafts. So go there, check it out, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter and to subscribe to The Mom's View and leave us your comments, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.